Welcome back, everyone. My name is Batgasm, and today we're going to talk about one of my favorite characters in Overwatch, the mysterious Doomfist.
Whoa. That's Doomfist's gauntlet! Oh man, they said he could level a skyscraper.
Doomfist is a character, or characters, that are shrouded in mystery, and that's why I think there is such great appeal to them. Almost everything about the character raises questions, and we're going to go into those questions now and attempt to answer them using all the available information, as well as clearing up any of the misinformation that may be out there online. So just who are the Doomfist? It's actually not that complicated once you understand Blizzard's mindset behind creating characters and approaching the Overwatch universe. Despite his in-game ultimate villain mysterious feeling, Chris Metzen and friends did an interview with PC Gamer in which they state, "We did not develop Doomfist to be any more important to the franchise than any other character at all. It was just a fun creative exercise, so in that way, what you see on the map and what it makes you feel as of today is what you see and not necessarily much deeper than that." I, for one, get a ultimate bad guy status feeling kind of like Thanos from what I see on the Nubani map, but we'll go into that towards the end of the video. They're pretty clear that they're making up the universe as they go along. I personally feel that's a fantastic way to work, and while having broad strokes for a story, working as you go gives you a creative freedom that a lot of fully realized stories don't have. Breaking Bad did this, Rick and Morty does it kinda, and though the actual process is different, it's the same results. You're not attached to an idea so hard that you can't create a better story because of it. It allows things to change and evolve. My point being is that Doomfist can literally become anything from here. So what actual history do we know about Doomfist? We know from what Chris Metzen and friends said to PC Gamer that Doomfist is a moniker and has had multiple people use the same name, kind of like the Green Lanterns, or the Flashes, or Night Owl. There was a Doomfist exhibit in Nubani, which shows 3 different people using the name, the Savior, the Scourge, and the Successor. The first Doomfist, Adabu Nugumi, I'm sure I butchered that name, was the Savior. Again, according to Metzen, is actually from Nubani, Africa, and has a pre-mature version of the gauntlet. That's about all there is known about him. However, from the title and the hat, I go with the theory that he was some sort of soldier during the Omnic Crisis and saved a lot of people, or maybe Nubani itself. This looks, again, just my opinion, to be from the golden age of Overwatch, but again, that's unconfirmed. The second Doomfist, Akinjide Adeyemi, may be actually related to the first, and has an upgraded version of the gauntlet, which seems to be the same one from the very first Overwatch cinematic and on the payload of the Nubani map. He was called the Scourge, and it's unclear if he was a villain. However, based on the colors and imagery from the poster, the name the Scourge of Nubani, and being mentioned that Winston defeated the Doomfist, while also being centered around this same gauntlet, I think it's safe to assume that the second Doomfist was a villain. If he too was from Nubani, this would be somewhat similar to perhaps the Arthas storyline in Warcraft 3. This would also justify the question asked, Savior or Scourge? Perhaps once a force for good and then destruction, making Doomfist a controversial issue, especially if they were, say, father and son. The third Doomfist is titled the Successor, and there is no information on him or her outside of the tapestry in the exhibit. The name is unclear, and I think it looks similar to what appears to be some sort of Omnic language, but I don't know. However, they clearly have a much more advanced version of the gauntlet that actually goes up the arm. It's unclear as to where the location of this Doomfist is. The terrorist organization Talon attempts to gain control of the gauntlet at the museum in the first cinematic. Afterwards, it was transferred to Nubani for their exhibit opening on Unity Day, where they call it the Doomfist. So it seems that the gauntlet is actually called the Doomfist, as well as actually being the character's name. Here, Talon once again attempts to get the gauntlet while it's in transit, which is the objective of the match. Now, here again, things get a little confusing. The sources on the wikis when there are sources, claim that Doomfist is an active threat to Bonnie and causing a rift between human and Omnic relations, but I can't find any evidence to support this. The wikis sort BlizzPro, but I can't find any sources on BlizzPro. I have tweeted them, but as of right now I've not heard back. It's made to appear that the third Doomfist is a villain type, and that may be the case, but I honestly don't think Blizzard has come up with that story yet. And it's more likely that just the battle for the gauntlet between the players is the threat in the city and not actually Doomfist himself. The wikis have also gotten the names wrong, so I'd just like to point that out. What could he do in the future? Chris Metzen and friends did say that there was a possibility of seeing the third Doomfist as a playable character, and that he would be aware of all the previous Doomfists before him. It's clear that Talon really wants the gauntlet for a reason. This could be various different reasons, but I have a loose theory that perhaps they have access to the second Doomfist after he was defeated by Winston, and they're getting it back for him, or maybe he's the mysterious leader behind Talon, or set up Talon. Who knows, but there was a lot that can be done here. The exhibit is part of a hereditary exhibit, so maybe all the Doomfists are related. Maybe the successor is the son of the Scourge, and will have to defeat his father to bring the name Doomfist back in good reputation or something. Again, this is all just my theories based on the information that we have. I also want to point out, as I often do, Overwatch's connections to various other beloved geeky franchises, mainly superheroes, and in this case, Thanos and the Infinity Gauntlet, which has godlike powers. And while I don't think it's directly ripped off of that, or will have anything near that kind of power, I think the imagery of the Infinity Gauntlet, and Thanos being, at least in the current Marvel Cinematic Universe, the ultimate mysterious threat, is a pretty good inspiration and basis for the character of Doomfist. At least I hope so. I get the same quote-unquote badass vibe hearing about Doomfist as I do when I see Thanos on screen. Who knows, maybe one day we'll have to do an update video when more information is released, such as when the graphic novel Overwatch First Strike comes out later this year. So thanks for watching. If you liked this video, please feel free to check out some more lore videos I made, and as much as I hate saying this, click that like button and subscribe. Until next time.